Good evening, gang, and welcome. We'll get started here in a few minutes. It is 9:52. I'm just getting situated here. So those of you who watch this on replay, if you want to fast forward this about 8 minutes, we'll get started with the topic officially at 10 p.m. Good evening, everyone in the chat. Good evening, Robert, Yu-Gi-Oh! Who else is here? Mark, welcome, welcome. Patreon page by page on Patreon updated today would appear. So those of you who support the channel through that, I have your names, first names only, listed below in the show notes. So thank you. Looks like there's about 8 of you. I'd like to grow that to about 30 by the end of the month if I can. Anyway, that's the goal. So many problems with Patreon. Anyway, hello. Let's see. Mic check. All right, looks good on my end. Very good. Hello, Mr. G. How are you? Yo, yo. Man, it is really humid tonight. Whew. I went outside at a local restaurant. They have an outside deck. I had a beer, and I left. It was just a little bit humid. Anyway. So tonight's topic, we'll talk a little bit about an episode on the History Channel. Terrific show in search of, somewhat based on the 1970s series, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Artificial intelligence and the real threat it poses to humanity. I mean, it was freaking scary, really scary. And we'll get to that in a moment. I'm doing good, Mark. How are you? Alright, looks like I'm good to set up here. Let me turn on the camera. There we go. I think we're good. How's that? Alright, looks good here. So, yeah, it's summer, so it's definitely humid. Anyway. Logan says, keep a jar of quarters around, pull in the vending machines and become the dominant race who will need them. The vending machines will take over? Okay. They might. Phil Blah today, Mark. What's that saying? When life hands you lemons, make lemonade, or something like that. At least that's what I try to do. Yeah. But I hear you. Sneaky Linux is in the house. The statesman of Linux. Sneaky Linux. How are you, sir? You're still up because you're robot printing. Speak of the topic for tonight. Robot printing. That's right. It goes with the title of my show. That's true. Sneaky, welcome to the timely topic for this evening. Good evening, Stephen. Yeah. 9:55. We'll get started at 10 p.m. Another 5 minutes. Check my messages. Looks like the notification worked, at least on my end. Big DEF CON talks to sheer AI and machine learning going to kill net security. Okay. Yeah, each year they have the different talks. I think the Alien Con is next month, hosted by the History Channel. Ancient Aliens. I mean, they have a bunch of these different things. Star Trek conventions every year. One of these days I'll make it to one of those conventions and I'll broadcast live. Hello, Timo. Very hard week. Sorry I can't be on. Just trying to catch up. Have a great show. Tim, that's okay. You be safe. Tim, a longtime supporter of the channel. Thank you. You be safe. Thank you. Oh, I don't think technology robots care about the richest or the poorest, Mark. Yeah. So, another Manjaro lover, Steven. Okay. One of these days I'll get that Manjaro. I gotta get another machine, man. It just takes too long to render these videos if I do testing. So, yes, Sneaky AI is already here. We have all these devices that does it for them until they try your beer. So, Sneaky, is your beer the master shut off switch? Is your beer? Ah, man. They actually filmed the show episode in Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, not too far from here. Parrot Security OS, Mr. G. Okay, very good. Beer is the anti-AI. Well, if robots get sophisticated, they'll drink that beer and go, "Brr, you're terminated." Technology is getting out of hand, yes. I mean, just like anything else mankind creates, there's good and evil. And this thing with artificial intelligence becoming more sophisticated and the threat that it can potentially pose is very real. And history proves it. And we'll talk about that. All right, 9:58 in a couple of minutes. If we have any newbies watching, please do stop by and say hello. This channel was created for all the new users, or not, mainly new users of technology, Linux, and whatnot. So please stop by and say hello. Don't be shy. Let me get my page here set up. All right, looking good there. Yeah, to anyone here, please do, anyone stopping by who's new, don't be shy, say hello. Okay? Alright, so let's get started with tonight's topic. This is another Total OS Today live event for Saturday, August 11th, 2018. And tonight we're going to talk about AI and the threat that it can pose. My co-host Tim is in the house.
What's up, brother?
Speaking of artificial intelligence, not too bright now. I'm just kidding, just kidding. Hi, Tim.
How are you? There, brother. You got me there.
I like your shirt, Superman.
Yep.
Welcome, Tim.
I think this one even glows in the dark.
Oh, okay.
I think it does.
Okay. So we'll get started on tonight's topic, and let me get through the main topic, and then if a couple of you want to join in on the chat, this is an open chat. It's not private or solo. So I think somebody asked, but let me get through the main topic and my thoughts about it. Thank you, Lamer. Yeah, hit the like button. Thank you, Mr. G. Thank you, very kind of you. Again, these chats, these live events are possible by you. Last week's concert with Stephanie, possible by the community. Thank you very kindly. All right, so tonight's topic is AI, artificial intelligence, and the real threat it poses to humanity. There's a wonderful show on the History Channel based on a 1970s series that I believe was hosted by Leonard Nimoy, the original Mr. Spock. Ironically, the new In Search of on History is hosted by the actor Zachary Quinto. He's the new, younger Mr. Spock on the new Star Trek movies. But there's a new show, In Search of, on History Channel. Full disclosure, this is not being sponsored or endorsed by History Channel. I am endorsing that show, by the way, and highly recommend it if you have cable or satellite or Netflix. It's called In Search of. In fact, let me just show you that channel real quick here. Let me screen share this. It won't crash. And that's it there. That's the actor Zachary Quinto. History Channel. This episode aired actually last night. Artificial intelligence. Zach embarks on a terrifying journey to understand how the future of artificial intelligence may already be a threat to humanity. There's some other shows here, previous shows. All right, let me get out of that. I was watching this episode today. Part of it was filmed at Carnegie Mellon University, the very prestigious university in Pittsburgh, not too far from here. They did an episode on drones, robots, and the ability to adapt. But without talking about the entire hour show, and it was packed, it's clear that technology is progressing at an exponential pace, and as human beings, as the human brain gets more advanced and sophisticated and curious, taking new chances and so forth, we're building more and more sophisticated machines, technology that, for what I saw, have the ability to learn on their own. You know, sometimes on this channel we joke about the Star Trek Next Generation evil, the Borg. You will be assimilated, and how they can learn and adapt as a collective. Well, they're able to prove that on a small level on the show. I won't spoil what they did, but they had one robot. Zachary was teaching one robot a simple thing, and immediately the other robot was able to do it by learning from the first robot, like a Borg collective. That's on a small scale. So imagine how far that technology can advance for something as simple as harmless as that, and progresses to something that can potentially threaten AI or threaten us through the use of artificial intelligence getting more and more advanced as human beings. Technology, our brains get more advanced and want to push this technology to the edge. And if you don't think AI is a threat or technology is a threat today, think about texting and driving. That's the use of technology that has very serious consequences. Think about fake news, the use of technology for fake news. Think about the last election on both sides. It's pretty scary stuff. And sometimes I'll say, on random topics, I'll say jokingly, but this is not a joke, never underestimate the power of stupidity, of human beings to do stupid things, to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. Mankind has not enjoyed 100 years of peace. What about 75 years of peace? 50 years? 10 years? Can you think of humanity, a civilized society that has enjoyed a decade or so of peace? I can't think of it. And why? Because it seems like the ability for stupidity, the ability for self-destruction is built in our DNA. Now, we're not all evil, of course. I believe there is more good than evil. But that potential is there, and history has proven that. But all it takes is that small percentage of stupidity DNA to go over the edge to create artificial intelligence, robots, computers, a collective technological mind that I believe does have the capacity to destroy humanity. And this show kind of hints. Now, Zachary, the host on that show, says something that was very, very scary. He says, and he talked about, he says, you know what? Scientists' brains don't have a blueprint on how to potentially stop this. What's even more scary, they're not even thinking about a potential blueprint to potentially prevent this from happening. And that's scary stuff when you think about it. What can happen? Well, you're driving your car, a self-driving car. Now the collective takes over. You're in the car. What are you going to do? You're on a train. You're on an airplane. Now the AI takes over. What are you going to do? Unless there's some kind of a master switch, on-off switch, what are you going to do? You're at the mercy of a technology created by you, by us as humans, And you want to tell these AI robots what to do after you created them to be, quote, better than you? Think about this, once again, humanity has a very poor record of peace, of, goodwill towards others. One day, what's to prevent the AI, the collective, the robots to say, you know what, humans, you guys suck at, your manners, you guys suck at world peace, we'll take over, we'll do it for you. What's to prevent that? Now, it sounds like speculation and fantasy, but I don't think so. I think that's a very real threat and a possibility. But those are my thoughts. I don't want to ramble for the whole hour. But check out the show, History Channel, in search of. I think they've done 4 or 5 this season. It usually comes after Ancient Aliens, if I'm not mistaken. But AI, the real threat to humanity. Some scary stuff on that episode. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Tim, I don't know if you have any thoughts about that.
As you were talking about that, you were talking about the whole the self-driving cars, and Carmine happens to know. I'm not sure if folks in the chat do. I'm a car nut. I love cars. It's not really fast cars. It's not really slow cars. I like cars for what they are. When there's been a certain amount of diligence and creativity that's gone into their design. So for me, a car is not just utilitarian. It's not just getting from point A to point B. However, it does serve a good purpose. So in part of that, of course, I read a lot of automotive news. And as soon as Tesla started testing their autopilots and they started having some crashes, that just became so prevalent in the news. And in my mind, it seemed so hypocritical, because people are, the news media reports consistently. I watch the financial news. They're constantly reporting on Tesla, especially now that Tesla made go private. Elon Musk is thinking of doing that. They continually report on the strides that these car companies are making. And as soon as the car company, when they go to test a technology such as self-driving, and somebody is hurt, or even, God forbid, it has happened, and hopefully it doesn't happen again, somebody is killed, before you know it, they're Satan's best friend. They're just, why are we allowing this? Well, why are we promoting it to begin with? The other side of it is that I'm not sure if there's probably some folks in the chat from the UK. Top Gear, the television program Top Gear, with the older Top Gear with Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond on it. And they were talking about self-driving cars. And generally that show tends to be very lighthearted on motoring. They do some really stupid things. There are 3 kind of jokers, but they do have some serious discussions. And one of them is someday we're going to be sitting in a self-driving car. We're going to be going down the street. The car is going to see an accident in front of us, and it's going to see the avoidance. Where we can avoid it is here, but there's a group of, let's just say, elderly people or school children or something like that. It's going to make a decision as to what the best possible outcome is. And of course, the best possible outcome is the least amount of fatalities. So instead of hitting a group of people, it's going to do what it can to slow the car, but there's a very good chance that the occupant of the self-driving car is going to die. And like you said, having an override button. Well, the host of this particular program, one of the guys said there should just be a big button right on the dashboard that says me. So you hit it and it save me. But so far as the whole AI thing is concerned, I think some of us, particularly myself, you read it in the news, you see different headlines with a different advancements. However, you don't see it really on mainstream news as much until the same advancement gets enough credibility to it, and then it seems to hit the mainstream news. But very, very true and correct. There is a time, if not in my life, for sure within the lives of my grandkids, that getting in a car, turning a key, and depressing a brake pedal to put it in gear is going to be a thought of the past. Setting a thermostat in your house is going to be oblivious. Doing things like possibly putting together a grocery list is going to go to the wayside, because the refrigerator is going to know what you have and what you don't have, and it's going to send you a text and it's going to tell you, don't forget to pick up the milk on the way home, you goofball. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? To me, it's scarier than hell, because I'm a human being, and as a human being, I want a certain amount of control over my environment. Of course, if you try to control everything in the environment or other people in the environment, that can be very unhealthy. But as a human being, I have a certain amount of, I guess, control need inside of me. And when I'm unable to control my environment to a certain degree, specifically when it comes to something that's personal to me, that gets to be kind of a scary thing. And
Right. Yeah.
I don't believe, I don't believe that in any way, shape, or form, when we get 150 to 200, well, maybe not even that long, let's just say a handful or two of decades from now, when we get to that point, how much decision making is going to be made by somebody that's got one of these, and more so one of these, instead of a machine somewhere? Because there is absolutely, positively, and no question in my mind, and I would guess a lot of other folks, rational decision making can't be done with just a brain. It can't be done with an algorithm. It can't be done with a calculation. There has to be some heart behind it, and there has to be some soul behind it, some compassion, and the things like that. I don't think, no matter what, no matter how far this advances, excuse me, we will never be able to program responsibility or integrity or compassion into a machine. We will never be able to do it. And the further we advance in that area,
Mm-hmm.
I tend to be more worried about the people that are programming this.
Yeah.
They are starting to lose those qualities, and that's scary. When humans lose those qualities, that's when we really have to worry.
The only solution, and you mentioned about having like a switch, a master on-off switch, just a simple toggle switch, not even electronic. I don't try, manual on, master on, off. But I mentioned it before, and I'll say it again. What's to prevent a highly advanced AI collective looking at the history of mankind and saying, and this collective says, you know what, humans, you suck. You suck at world peace. You suck at managing yourselves. You suck at helping other people. We'll take over. We know how to do it better. What's to prevent the robots, the collective, from saying that? Could you blame them? No, I don't want that to happen. But look at it from the collective side. If that ever happens, can you blame them? Looking at the total history of mankind, I don't think we've had, as humans, as humanity, 10 years of peace on Earth. Have we? I don't think so.
When you look at the movies that I've seen that have the 3 laws of robotics,
Mm-hmm.
have we of humans upheld those? No, we haven't. We have not. And quite honestly, we live in a world where there are responsible,
Yeah.
forgive me for using this term, responsible, God-fearing,
Mm-hmm.
decent, reasonable, compassionate human beings. But the problem is that there are fools running around. There are a certain amount of, and let's just face it, some real dumb ASSs out there. Okay. And those are the ones that, of course, we always have to be careful of. But what's to say that when we start getting to the point where the machines start making the decisions, if an idiot programs a machine, isn't there a certain law that says garbage in, garbage out?
Or even if a programmer one night goes out to party and gets drunk. Harmless, he comes home, he does something, and does something really stupid. Now the machines take over. It can happen, right?
I could just see that a developer goes out, gets hammered up, comes home. Oh, watch this, and let's every the blender on every counter in every kitchen counter in America turns on. You know, there's something I'm like, you know, people may think, you know, that's unreasonable, but you know what? It's a stupid thought, but it's reasonable to think it could happen.
Think about how many of us, all of us, have said at one point in our lives, man, what was I thinking? I was stupid. Can't believe I did that. I'm sorry, I did. Now multiply that by millions or billions of people. All it takes is one of those persons or a small group of people with brains to do something really stupid and to plant the seed for that AI collective mind, and we're all screwed. It can, you know, last night, tragic story, a young man in Washington hijacked a plane for a joyride, right? It was on the news. It was by himself. It was a twin prop for fun. And he wasn't trained to be a pilot. He learned by playing Xbox, evidently. Seriously. What was he thinking? Now, tragically, he crashed a plane. Nobody else got hurt, but he didn't make it. You know, sorry to hear that. But think about it. Now, multiply that irrational thinking by potentially billions of people. But you don't need billions of scientists to plant the seed for this AI mind. You just need a handful. And a handful of minds can screw up the entire planet, potentially. You know, you look at the Terminator movies, you know, Skynet. It was fantasy 30 years ago. It's not fantasy now. You know, Pittsburgh has one of the U.S.'s top driving centers to test these self-driving cars. That was on the show. And, you know, the system is not perfect. Now, the system can do good things. There was a story of one of the Tesla cars, self-driving. I guess the guy was having a heart attack or a stroke or something, and he used the autopilot to safely take him to a hospital. Wonderful story. So the potential for good is there. But because the DNA for stupidity of human beings is in all of us to do stupid things, even when we don't want to, because we are imperfect. And we're trying to build machines. Imperfect masters are trying to build perfect machines. Now, does that make any sense? I don't think so. Imperfect in, garbage in, imperfect out, garbage out. That's how I see it. So this whole AI thing, your defense is be aware, watch what's going on, get some knowledge about it. If something sounds wrong, if it sounds, you know, like it's not for the common good of humanity, it's probably, you are probably correct. If it sounds wrong, if it doesn't seem right, it probably is not right. Because there's also the built-in instinct DNA of us for the common, to feel, to understand what is the common good of, you know, for all of us. What's the cool thing to do? What is the uncool thing to do? You know, but the potential for stupidity, the potential for evil, the potential for getting drunk, coming home and turning on every blender in the world is there, or the potential for flushing toilets. There we go. You know. You know, we can laugh about it now because the AI, artificial intelligence, hasn't reached that point. But I was watching that 1 hour show and it's scary. I'm looking at it, I'm like, holy crap. And no one, according to the show, no one has a blueprint on how to prevent this, at least not yet. So if it happens, what are you going to do? Anyway, those are my thoughts on AI. But check out the show. It's on History Channel called In Search Of, hosted by Zachary Quinto. Zachary Quinto, the guy who plays Star Trek on the new Star Trek movies. Really good show. And he's done some other ones, I think 4 or 5. Anyway, those are my thoughts. So, I I guess we can open this up to a couple of people who want to join in on this open chat for this evening. Just send me the email, totalostoday1@gmail.com, and we'll go from there.
Toss, that was on History Channel, correct?
Yes, In Search Of on History Channel with Zachary Quinto. Yes.
I saw that's like the second or third episode, I think.
I think it's number 4.
Is it that?
Three?
Okay.
I think so.
I caught the first episode. And you know what? It's a blur. I can't even remember.
I go on demand because I miss him too. I mean, it's Friday nights. I'm doing this Friday nights. I catch that in Ancient Aliens, but I watch on demand, so and I'm able to catch it. Excellent show. I mean, there's a lot of junk on TV, but this show is excellent. They just deal with the facts for today, some speculation, and the potential, facts of the future, as it were. Great show, great stuff, and it's up to the viewer to decide.
For you folks out there that have Comcast, Spectrum, Xfinity, or anything, episode 4 is the correct episode, Toss, and it is on demand right now if you would like to catch it.
Yeah, I strongly recommend watching. Again, this video is not sponsored by History, although I would welcome them to sponsor one of these episodes. But this is my personal opinion. Check it out. It's one of the few times where I get my money's worth paying Comcast to watch quality stuff. It's not always I say that, but... And of course, Comcast is making this stream possible, since it works. So,
well, if you consider the idea, if you were to go to, say, 8 movies a month, how much would that cost you?
That's a lot.
How much does it cost you to have Comcast? If you can find 15 hours worth of decent programming through the month on Comcast.
Well, let's say you go through 8 movies a month. You take your family. We'll call it $200. By the time you get popcorn, does that sound about right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's say the average for Comcast is also $200 a month. You have a choice to pick one.
Yep.
Now, I still enjoy going to the movies, not 8 times a month. I mean, I enjoyed The Last Mission Impossible. It was great. I'm not going to learn anything from watching that movie, but it is an escape, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right, let me check the emails here, and we'll get Ricky. You can join if you want. I do have an update. That's not the link. That's Stephanie's website. Check out last week's free concert, by the way, if you haven't, from Stephanie Forian. Great show. Let me go back here. It looks like my Patreon page, the website updated today. Those of you who support the channel through Patreon, I have your names below as a thank you, first names only. Thank you. All right, Ricky, there is the link now. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't really planning on doing anything today. I just wanted to relax. So humid today, even now. But I caught the show, and I wanted to talk about it while it was fresh in my mind.
It was not... well, the dew point is pretty high here in Minnesota, but the air quality is just terrible because of the Canadian wildfires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a nice day out, 80, between mid-80s.
Yeah.
Dew point was just a little bit high, but the air quality is just absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm usually not real susceptible to that stuff. It doesn't really bother me. But even today, we couldn't spend time outside.
Yeah. And that happens a lot there in Minnesota?
Well, the Canadian wildfires, the jet stream is hitting them right
that's
now.
right. Yeah.
And all of the smoke and soot and everything that comes out of these wildfires is now blowing right through the center of Minnesota from north to south.
Okay. Okay. Those of you who want to hop off to catch the other Biddle show, Big Daddy Linux, that's fine. Of course, there's nothing preventing you from watching both, 2 for 1 night. But if you want to jump off, that's fine. If I wasn't doing this, I would have jumped on the other one. But like I said, that topic was in my mind fresh, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Mr. G says Stephanie rocks. Yes, she does. Wonderful talent, beautiful gal. Check out the free concert. Yeah, last week, courtesy of your donations to the channel. Thank you. Check out her songs. If you buy her CDs, when you check out, send her a message. Say, Stephanie, my name is, please sign the CD. She will autograph it. There's no extra charge. I think the CDs are $15 or more. You can give her what you want. You know. So tell her thank you. All right, let's get another person in here for this evening.
Hey guys,
Hello, man.
how you doing?
Doing good. How are you, Ricky?
Oh, fine.
Okay.
I've installed Netrunner Linux on my laptop just to test it out.
KDE. Okay, Netrunner. Sure.
Mhm.
Very nice. Okay. But we got Steve Spence saying the actual risk of AI systems are having control over a system with algorithms that no one can really understand. Yeah. Check out that episode. I mean, it was eye-opening. I mean, I kind of knew some of it, but it's scary. Yeah. I think next week's episode is the possibility of time travel. Well, that should be interesting. So check it out.
You know, speaking of that and kind of the AI stuff, I used to be a longtime listener of Coast to Coast AM, the radio program, and I just saw that Art Bell passed away here a couple of weeks ago. Art Bell was the original host.
Right. Yeah.
And now a guy I think named George Noory is
Yeah.
Yep,
Sure. He has
Art
a
Bell,
mustache, I think. Yeah.
Yep, dark hair. He always wears a blue shirt and a black blazer. But yeah, Art Bell, the guy who began the Coast to Coast AM, he passed away a few weeks ago.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Daniel, check your email. I think I sent you the link. Okay. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of TV because it's just, for lack of a better term, it's just stupid. There's nothing of value there. But the History Channel, some of the stuff, even the latest Ancient Aliens are making me think more. Pretty good stuff. They went to, not Sicily, but Sardinia. They discovered some other things. I mean, it does make you think. It really does. But the new In Search of excellent stuff on there, you know.
In my opinion, I think this whole AI thing, in my personal opinion, I think it is getting severely out of control, but we do have the power to prevent it from getting worse.
Potentially, yes.
I mean, we created all this technology in the first place, which means we have the ability to disassemble most of it.
Well, we have the potential to use technology for good. Look, we're here. We are talking because of technology. So the potential is there for good, but the potential, and it's a big one, for evil because, again, we are hardwired for stupidity. All of us, you know. Sometimes we just don't think about it till after it happens, you know.
I mean, look at all these major corporations. They're using technology to take our personal data and everything with it.
Yeah.
I can name a few companies in particular that I just want to bash their heads in.
Yeah. Mark, if you want to join me, send me an email, totalosttoday1@gmail.com if you want to join in. I know, you can't post links unless you're a moderator. If you want to join in, Mark.
Yeah. And just letting you and Tim know that I have a temporary solution. Hopefully, I fix the microphone interference. If it somehow doesn't work, I'll just end up switching to the phone anyway.
Okay.
I do plan on getting me a USB headset next month.
Yeah. Okay. Grab. I used last week's show with Stephanie. I used the Logitech headset. It seems to work fine. So.
All right. Well, I have a Logitech webcam, so I've always liked their product.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah. See if Mark is able to join in.
Big Daddy just went live.
Good show. Talking about Linux. So Rocco was on. He's just not on the other show, right? I believe he's still hosting Big Daddy. Hello, Dan.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can.
Okay, that's a good thing. I'm recovering from a severe computer crash.
That's what happened. The AI's taken over already. Jeez.
Imagine you go to turn on your computer and you put in your password and it won't accept it.
Uh-oh.
And then it completely deteriorates from there on out.
Oh, my goodness. I think I mentioned it, but I literally have a black book of passwords. AI proof.
You should see the book that he has, his regular black book with phone numbers in it.
That one is too heavy for me to lift. I got to have a partner. It's heavy.
That's what
It's not that I forgot the password. I wonder if there's an issue with these SSD drives, because ever since I switched one, I've been having to fix Linux left and right.
I don't know.
The traditional hard box works fine.
Okay. I don't know.
Luckily, I have a backup. This is a complete backup with Clonezilla, so I can instantly go back to what I had without having to fish every piece of software.
Now, see, that could be a movie, Godzilla versus Clonezilla, a clone of Godzilla. It makes about as much sense as anything else in Hollywood.
Right.
My problem isn't an SSD. It's in everything that I can boil it down to. It was a kernel issue.
Yeah.
And now I'm running Mint 19 with the Dash 30 kernel, and did it? I can't remember now. It didn't puke out on me at all last night, and it's running wonderfully this evening. So
okay. Well, by the way, last night's show, check it out. We had a nice little talk on one of the apps. I put it up today, a little snippet. That was really funny. One of the poop apps for Android.
I seen that.
That was really. See, you just never know. See, that's why I don't just do Linux, because let's face it, it gets boring, or just Windows, or just tutorial, because it gets boring. You know, we have to inject more humanity and stuff, and less technology. And now it's not necessarily planned, because you never know where this will lead. But that 10-minute segment was really funny.
I never had these issues with Windows.
Okay, well,
apparently that bathroom tracker apparently can actually serve some type of good purpose for people that suffer from IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. And
fair enough. Okay.
Like Crohn's disease.
Yeah.
And and people that are celiac, they can't handle gluten. Apparently, because I was talking about it last night with the boss, and she brought that up, and I looked, and sure enough.
Okay.
So, it might be kind of a joke, but there are people that this. Yeah. For them and their doctors, it's actually
right.
Alrighty.
Hi, Mark.
Howdy.
Kind of a joke.
Hi, Mark.
So I'm just gonna pin this to my tab, so I'll have it.
You have some echo coming back through on the feedback, Mark.
Yeah.
There's some echo. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to turn. It's terrible. Hang on, I'll shut up. Definitely. Let me get that fixed.
Okay.
Hey, from what I remember, Toss, a few weeks back. Is that one?
Okay.
From what I remember, Toss, do you still planning? Now I know you mentioned this top little while back, but I know you haven't gotten around to it. Do you plan to talk about the whole infants dying hard topic that you were planning to talk about?
About the what? I'm sorry, say it again. I don't know if Mark can hear us. But.
I was saying, do you plan to talk
about the what? I'm sorry, say it again.
Let me. I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna have to mute Mark.
Mute him temporarily. Okay. Okay, go ahead, Ricky. Sorry.
It's okay. Do you plan to talk about the topic where over the last few years there have been a whole bunch of events where infants are dying in cars?
Yes, I will. I haven't scheduled that yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't scheduled that one yet. So, but I will. I think that's important also.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do it last week because we had Stephanie on. I wanted because she's leaving to Germany. I didn't want to,
Mm-hmm. I can
Mess
understand
with
that.
the input on
Sure.
the mic.
Mark, can you hear us?
Maybe not.
How you doing, Mark?
Mm.
Shut up. Is that any better whatsoever?
That's a lot better.
That sounds okay.
We can hear you just fine, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Mark, can you hear us?
Mark, can you hear us?
I've not done this yet.
I think there might be some audio issues.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my first round was a real stinker. Now I got a checklist.
Mm.
The one thing that's interesting is I'm in Hangouts using Vivaldi, and Vivaldi's working great.
Okay.
When you have the
No wonder.
when you have the Hangouts
I
like
need to move.
turned on, you have to
You
turn
call
off
me
your
up.
other browser window that has the YouTube going. You have to turn the audio off.
Uh-huh.
At least I have to, because I have Waterfox with the actual YouTube channel with the comments going, and then I have Chrome open, which I'm communicating with you guys with. And if I have the audio not muted on the other, you get the echo real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's getting very close to the release of Ubuntu 18.10.
That'll be a 9-month release. I'm not really too excited about that. Yeah.
Though it will make some improvements to Matei a little bit.
Hey, Toss, I muted.
Yeah.
Mark
Yeah.
out. Can you? For some reason, I can't unmute him.
Let me go to here. Hang on a second. Let's try it again. All right.
There he goes.
Mark, can you hear us? Okay. Mark, if you can hear us, it might be easier next time with the headset. Okay, it might be easier next time with the headset like this. With the built-in inline, mute. I don't know if you can hear, but
Could you gentlemen excuse me for just a minute, please?
Absolutely not.
Be right back.
So I have to. I'll talk a little bit about my day here for just
Okay.
a second.
Make the terminal have that about 82.
Whoa. Mark. Okay, go ahead.
So we get up. I slept in today because we were up late last night, and got up. Couldn't figure out what to do. So we got a couple of errands we have to do. We had to go and buy a gift for a friend of ours who just had a baby, and a friend of ours wanted to go and actually start Christmas shopping, surprisingly. So we went to Cracker Barrel and ate lunch. Well, it was breakfast, but it was at lunchtime. Ate like a complete pig because I thought, you know what, we're just going to sit around home the rest of the day. I'll just have something simple, a bowl of cereal or a peanut butter sandwich or something for dinner. No, about 6 o'clock, everybody's looking around and, well, what do we want to do for dinner tonight? We ended up going to a establishment about 15 miles away from us, and I had a Cuban sandwich, and I didn't want to get all the fries and stuff with it because I just didn't want to eat that much. So I thought, what the heck, I'll get a bowl of soup. So they bring me the sandwich, and the sandwich is, I'm not kidding you, the sandwich is 15 inches long, and it's about that tall.
Wow.
Then they give me a bowl of soup. I was thinking, like the side thing, they give you a cup of soup that's, as big as a baseball maybe, and say this tall. Oh no. They gave me a bowl of soup that was this big around and that tall. So I pretty much spent all day today in nothing other than pain and agony because I ate like a slob.
But was it good?
Everything I had today was really good. I got
Well,
a couple.
Tim, it's time for you to use that poop app.
It's like I said last night. I put it on my phone. I went into the bathroom and used it, and I sent Tawny a picture of it, and she said it's the best selfie I've ever seen you be able to take.
Not any better.
That is. Can you hear us, Mark?
Yeah, Mark. Yeah,
Still a little loud on the volume here.
I can hear you. We can hear you. Yes.
I'm back.
Camera's good.
I don't know if that's acceptable or not.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Mark,
Yep.
do you still have?
Is it terrible? Is it?
No, it's good. It's good. Don't worry about it. It's perfect right now. Yeah.
Yep.
Audio a little lower?
It's good.
I can do that.
It's good.
I can do that.
Yep.
Mark, can you hear us? Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us.
No, it's good. It's good. Don't worry about it. It's perfect right now. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to leave it as. I'm not going to mess with anything else. I'll break it.
It's good.
All right, good.
Can you hear us?
Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I'm communicating with Toss just fine. Yeah.
Okay. Can you see all of us?
It's the delay is terrible
Right.
on mine.
Okay.
When I'm talking, it's my
delay
computer
issues.
system.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm communicating with Toss.
I'm still getting a little feedback. We can hear feedback on your end.
Yeah. The delay is terrible.
Yeah, definitely a feedback.
I'm gonna have to disconnect for tonight. The delay is so bad on this, and get better equipment.
Next time, try a headset, Mark. Okay.
How about now?
Test, test.
I'll disconnect and try another night.
Try USB headset next time, Mark. Sorry about that. Yeah.
You got some earbuds?
Or earbuds. Yeah. Okay.
I tried anyway.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, headsets usually work or earbuds, but yeah.
not gonna get rid of this.
Okay.
Well,
And Arita says,
Oh,
Tim,
no.
you wasted all your calories for the day.
but
Oh, that wasn't for the day, dude. I think.
A week.
Oh yeah, it was. I wasted my calories this week. I'm gonna have to be really careful what I do the rest of the
Okay.
weekend.
Okay. See, if toilets could talk, get off. Too much today. Get off. Get off.
But you know, the stupid thing is we went to Cracker Barrel today.
Mm-hmm.
I generally get the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of potatoes because I want to stay down on the carbs and the starches. I tend to just do the eggs, some bacon, and maybe one piece of toast.
Okay.
Well, we go there today. I don't know how many people like grits. I absolutely love them. Absolutely love grits. So I get the whole breakfast. The two other people that are eating with me don't want their grits, so I eat them,
Okay.
plus my own. Then
Yeah.
we had pecan pancakes, and nobody was gonna
Pecan pancakes.
Pancakes. Nobody was
Okay.
gonna finish those. So, yeah, yeah.
That's a full day, a full week's of food, or at least a couple of days, right?
That's a couple of days. I think tomorrow the only thing I'm gonna do is have a soda and water the rest of the day, or San Pellegrino flavored water. I think that's probably what I'll live on tomorrow.
Okay. You and your San. Sounds like he's part of the family now, San Pellegrino.
Hey, Tom.
Yo, man.
I think the best way for you to try out Manjaro is to try out the Mate desktop, because since you've used Mate for so long, I think Mate would be perfect for you.
I might when I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
This
I
is the
think the
History
best-
Channel thing here. I'm just screen sharing this real quick again. But that's Zachary Quinto, who plays Mr. Spock on Star Trek.
I think the
Oh.
best way for you to try Manjaro is to not even download it.
Okay.
I don't do Arch. Friends don't let friends do Arch.
I guess so.
No kidding. You know what? I'm not trying to blast anybody. Manjaro, for one reason or another, regardless of how you think of the statistics on the DistroWatch homepage, there is a somewhat validity to the way that those rankings are. There's a little bit of validity there. And you know what? There's a reason that they're at number one. And also, as I've seen as of late, Manjaro actually has a hardware partnership with a company in Europe, and they're putting Manjaro on a select laptop. It's not like they have a whole range of laptops. I believe it's one single laptop.
Yeah.
But the few reviews that I've run on it say the hardware is cooking.
Okay.
That the OS is this blazingly fast and it's stable.
Okay.
So, you know, again, kind of going back to what we were talking about last night, if you buy a piece of hardware that is specifically made to take a specific OS and you marry
like Chromebooks.
like Chromebooks, and you take those and you marry them together just like this, it's good. Right now, Linux, when I try to put it on the machine that I'm on, it's more like this.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I think, in my opinion, since Europe has this one laptop that has Linux on it, and since it is sort of being mass marketed, I think that this could be start of something huge, like a revolution of some sort.
you know, Ricky, I think you're right, but I'm going to tell you this, my friend, is you take if for people out there that are buying Chromebooks, that have bought specific Chromebooks in about the last 6 months, 9 months, and the majority of the new Chromebooks that are releasing late this summer, this fall, and then of course everything in 2019. You can buy a Chromebook. First you have to escape the whole mentality of getting into the Google ecosystem. You know what? If you're using Hangouts right now, you're already in the Google ecosystem. So you're already there, folks. If you take a machine like that boots in, I think the Pixelbook will boot in about 12 seconds. I kid you not. From the time I open it up, I hit the power button to the time that I'm sitting there in front of my email is about 14 seconds.
Now,
and
that's
you can take
yeah.
You can take that and you can put a Linux app on it. Now, Google's got their, Google Documents, Google Sheets, and their whole online, Office suite. But you can install through a developer project. You can install LibreOffice, which I've done. You can install GIMP, which I've done, and you can work on files locally off of the hard drive of the machine. I'm telling you that I'm tickled as pink as Tassa's shirt. It is absolutely awesome.
I suppose that's an example of of a collective where it works. Everything works. The Chromebooks. Everything is synced well. It's not taking over your life, and everything works. So,
but there again, like we've said, Google has Google's valuation right now.
Right.
They've got a couple of bucks to put a couple of monkeys in a room somewhere and have them do nothing other than play with Linux apps on Chrome OS. They've got plenty of money to be able to do it, and those people have put a lot of good work into it, and it is.
I agree.
And it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
One thing about Google, let's just step away from the whole privacy and everything. The one thing that Google can do right that Microsoft is steering off from is they have all the resources with these Chromebooks and with their technology to do the one thing that Microsoft has failed to do since the launch of Windows 10. Mass market a actual machine that can actually do what you want it to do.
Yeah, and the other thing is you go across the board without having to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on, well, maybe not thousands, but a heck of a lot of money on hardware. Apple hardware is really good hardware. It looks nice.
It is.
It's got an OS that runs perfectly on it. And then you bring the iPhone into the mix. By the time you go out and buy, I think Apple's, if you buy new, of course, the caveat is if you buy new, I think the cheapest Apple product you can buy is about $1,000. I think if you're a student or an educator, you can get it a little bit less. And what's the cheapest? Let's just say you want to get not the $1,000 iPhone 10 or 20 or whatever the hell it is. You get the nicest iPhone, the 7 or 7 something or other or whatever. You got close to $2,000 in that, right? You got $1,000 for the computer, and you've got another $700 or $800 for the phone. A Chromebook, you can fully integrate your digital life with a Chromebook. Micro Center, when I was there, they had some Chromebooks. They didn't have they didn't have the ability to integrate Linux apps on them, but they were a Chromebook, tried and true, $110. They're like
that's really good.
Like an 11-inch Samsung or Asus Chromebook for $110. And then what do? You go and you get your telephone from, even people that use prepaid services. Most of those are all Android phones, so you're going to have a Google account anyways. How much are some of those prepaid phones? What, $50? For under $200 as compared to $1,800, you can fully integrate everything that you do across one service with 2 devices. And then say you go out and buy one of these Galaxy tabs or tablets, whatever they are. You can get one of those for another couple $100 for under $500. You can do the same thing with a Chromebook, an Android phone, and an Android tablet, as it would cost you almost $2,000 to do with Apple. And let's talk about Microsoft, as you were saying. Well, Microsoft no longer has a telephone, and no matter what they tell you, it's not going to integrate well with an iPhone. Windows will not integrate as seamlessly with an iPhone. And what does Windows have for a tablet? You're stuck buying one of those Surface, whatever the heck they are. And they say that they're supposed to be a replacement for the desktop. No, they aren't.
No, they're not.
Surface started out, it didn't even come with a full version of Windows 10. It came with Windows 10 S, which was a stripped down version of Windows.
And those things are relatively, not to say they're low powered. I mean, Chromebooks are low powered, but considering they're a cloud-based device, they don't need to have, a flux capacitor stuck to the side of them like Dan's computer does. Just kidding, Dan. But
I'm having my woes with my machine, so I no comment.
But the Surface Pros, those things aren't like hugely robust. I mean, they don't have 500 gig hard drives in them. They don't have 16 gigabytes of RAM in them. I mean, they're kind of capped, I think, at like 4 or 8 gig of RAM, and I think they're kind of capped at 128 or 256 for gigabyte for the hard drive. And then on top of it, what do you get? You don't get a real keyboard with these things. You get that floppy deal. I was playing with one of them at Micro Center. The keyboard, it's not something I feel like I could sit down and comfortably work on for 3 hours. If I wanted to sit down and type an email, I'd be okay. But I can do that off of my phone and be okay with it. So I don't know. I think as we've talked, if there's anybody that's really going to bring the whole Linux / open source / integration across a couple of devices, the people that I think are really going to win, because they're going to win from a monetary perspective, a budgetary perspective with their users, it's going to be Google.
Who knows? Google might save the day for the off switch for the AI threat.
You never know.
And another thing, the one thing that's going to kill Microsoft is, and I don't know if you or Tim have heard about this, Sauce. Did you hear that they are going to transform the Windows architecture into a system that is pretty much going to be a service desktop?
That was mentioned. I don't think it's for home consumers, is it? I think it's for businesses, I think.
It depends which story you read.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah.
I saw it, I saw it.
You have to consider there's probably a certain amount of validity to that, because a friend of ours son went to school here this week, and they bought him a Dell Inspiron. I think it was a 14-inch laptop. Nice laptop. It was one of the like $399 versions.
Was it brand new?
And they asked me to do the setup on it, and I'm telling you, Windows 10, it asks you, it says enter your Microsoft account. Nope, don't want to do that. I want to set up a local account. Well, are you really sure you want to do that? How about we just use a cloud account? Oh, you don't have one? Let's go ahead and set one up. Nope, I don't want to.
Oh my God.
Nope, I don't want to do that. I want to set up a local account on the machine. So then you set it up, and then it says, are you sure you want to continue with the local account on the machine?
Yes. It's almost like it should be voice activated. You say, okay, listen, Microsoft, listen, Snapperhead.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want this. You freaking listening to me, you dumb, Well, they're taking over.
I got 2 words for you, and it ain't let's dance.
Let's dance. You say
If you
we'll
get through it
dance.
without smashing it, you're doing really good.
And this machine, anytime I fart around with somebody else's machine, I always have a jump stick with me that's got generally the one that I had Ubuntu 18.04 on it. And I got everything set up on the Dell within Windows 10. It was a 4 gig RAM and like a 1 terabyte, I think a 1 terabyte hard drive, manual drive, not an SSD. And after I got it set up, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna time the boot time. So I let Windows do its initial out of the box update things, shut it off, turned it back on. It took over 50 seconds to boot, get me to the login screen, enter a password, and get to an actual working desktop with everything loaded and ready to go. No lag, right? And it took me about 8 tests to try to get to that point because there's all this crap starting up in the background on the taskbar. So nothing else would work with only 4 gig of RAM. So what did I do? I threw in Ubuntu 18.04. I booted it off of the stick, and it booted into the live environment in like 23 seconds.
That is just amazing.
It's like
You have more control over the system.
I had to use one of those today to hijack my files out of my system. Actually, Linux Mint, if you're terrible with command lines, the GUI in Linux Mint will allow you to change permissions and everything on a hard drive without needing command line stuff.
Yep. Okay. Well, there you go. Linux to the rescue.
To rescue a Linux.
To rescue Linux, right.
Steve Anderson says he's on Zorin 12.3.
Zorin is a pretty good system.
12.3 is they haven't released anything new recently, right? So 12.3 and Zorin land would be based on 1604.
That's most likely. Because the thing about Zorin, from what I know, they use 2 environments. For the main Zorin, it's GNOME, and for the lightweight version, it's XFCE.
Yep. The light version's good.
I think I've bought what do they call it? The Zorin. They have the core version, and then they have the
Ultimate edition.
Ultimate, yeah. I've bought the last. I bought the last 3. I think Ultimate editions just to play around with them, and they were all okay. Really, really resource heavy.
Mark says your dog ate your webcam.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's one way to be famous.
My dog ate my webcam, and I dropped my mic and killed it. Okay, Mark, that's not a good enough excuse for you to not have your homework done.
I dropped my mic in the fish tank.
Speaking of dogs, I gotta show you someone posted this on Facebook. Give me a second. I'm gonna screenshot. This is funny. This is really. I caught it this morning. This is one of the reasons why I like Facebook, because sometimes something so Well, I'll just show you. Just give me a second here. But this is really funny.
Mhm.
It's a wedding picture. Okay, it's a wedding picture. I don't know who it is. I just downloaded the picture, but it's a nice picture, sort of. I'm gonna share this with you in a second. You take a look at this. Is really funny.
That is hilarious.
Looks like the dog is cracking up in the grass.
Talks. Oh, cool.
He's down there. Ha ha ha.
It's almost like the dog is saying, "They're getting married," ha ha ha, you know, and he's got his legs spread out, showing his, you know.
His junk.
Dog says, "I'm fixed. You are too."
That is so cool. I mean,
That is awesome.
what are the odds of the timing of the dog just jumping in, photobombing the you know, vows, saying, "Oh, they're getting married." That won't last. No, I'm just joking. Anyway, I wish the couple, God bless them, but I just wanted to share that with you because I thought it was freaking hilarious. Speaking of dogs, so anyway, Zoran was your first Linux OS, Kyrie. Very good. Okay. Yes, LTS support 1604 till 2021. Yes, that is true. Okay, let me I think we'll finish up here. Shorter one tonight. I think we'll finish up here. A little bit of odd news. I don't know if you caught it, but a couple nights ago, MSNBC correspondent Stephanie Rule did a little boo-boo live, a little flub. No one's perfect, but she meant to say California is fighting fires. She said California is farting. Instead of, now she caught herself. She said California is farting, you know, fighting, and you could tell there's a little bit of smile on her face. But you know what? In true professional fashion, she just kept right on and told the serious story. So Stephanie, God bless you for, you know, being a professional with real news, as it were. But check it out. NBC News correspondent farting. Here's a headline that you just don't see every day. A man in concrete mixer truck leads Wyoming police in chase. All right.
Wow.
All right. How fast can a mixer truck run? Concrete truck run?
70
Go.
miles an hour tops.
Okay. So I'm not sure what the guy was thinking.
Fuel.
Until it runs out of fuel, right? But this man was trying. Anyway, let's see what else we have. This is kind of spooky. Look this up because the guy or shot this on his cell phone. It looks real. It's probably Photoshop. But a man opens portal in his bedroom by accident after feeling energy. Search that real and look at it. It looks real. Man opens portal to another dimension in his bedroom by accident after feeling energy. Look it up. It is bizarre, and it looks like it's real.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah. No. It's on. Just do a Google search. Yeah. Let me post it in the chat here.
Okay.
Give me a second here, and you guys can take a look at it. It's probably a fake, and it's a good fake. But let me post it here, and you guys can take a look at it. It's like something out of the X-Files. Okay, there's the link, so you guys check it out. All right, let me see what else I have here. Let's see. Colorado man fined $1,000 for repeatedly feeding bears. I don't know. I don't know if he can bear the fine. Ha ha. Go ahead.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
You seen that? Yeah.
Just hearing that makes me think of Yogi Bear all of a sudden. Hey, boo-boo, how much is that picnic basket?
I think I mentioned this. Driver hits 142 miles per hour right after being cited for speeding. Okay.
Let's get the ticket out of the way and then go for it.
Yeah, really. I collect tickets. Come on. Let's see here. I think I mentioned this one before. A Rhode Island governor to hold office hours at the beach.
Yeah.
All my question is she single?
You know what? With the way things are in the political world right now, if you're
Makes
at the
sense.
beach, great. But you know what? If you're getting your job done, I don't care if you do your job
Right.
from freaking Mars.
Right. Just
you're
do
getting
it.
the
As
job
long as
done,
you right.
I ain't got a problem with it.
I would have to agree. If you get it done, because that's what we pay you for, and that's at the beach, I'd say God bless you. Great job at the beach. You know?
Awesome. If you figured out a way to do it,
Yeah, really.
good for you.
A pizza museum opens in Chicago to New York's chagrin. Hey, we need to have this museum in freaking Brooklyn. Why Chicago? I got to talk to the families. What's up? Anyway, yeah, it's Pizza Museum in Chicago. Okay, cool. California City sets Guinness record for slime making.
Ew.
I'm not sure that's an accomplishment, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless you're Slimer from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, right, yeah. A Harlem Globetrotter sinks shot from airplane over New Jersey.
What?
Look it up. Harlem
Laser guided basketball.
It's one of those propeller planes. It looks like there's a basket on the highway, and I think he's dumping it as the plane. That's pretty slick if he actually got it. Yeah.
Very interesting.
You know, my grandfather, who's no longer with us, told me a story about the Harlem Globetrotters back in the 1950s. If you're a basketball aficionado or watcher, good. I don't know. Great for you. I don't watch it, but the Los Angeles Lakers used to be the Minneapolis Lakers years and years and years ago, and the Harlem Globetrotters came into town. And this was before they were so big that they had their carry-around team, you know, the ones that they made the fools of.
Yeah.
So they would go and play regular basketball teams. Globetrotters came into Minneapolis, and they screwed around, and the Minneapolis Lakers beat them. So the Globetrotters said, "Oh, we were putting the show on. We'll come back and we'll play." So they came back. They cut way down on the show, you know, the whole show aspect. But the Lakers beat them a second time. And they said, well, okay, fine. We're going to come back and we're going to be serious and we're going to beat you. That's all there is to it. They came back into town. No shenanigans, no screwing around, no nothing. They played honest, hard basketball, and the Minneapolis Lakers beat them out third time. Couldn't believe it.
That's talent.
It is.
Yes.
Pure talent. And this happened when?
Like back in the 50s.
Okay.
My.
I bet that coach said, okay, I guess I'll find a new job.
Nope.
But, okay, let's see what else we have here. Passengers on leaky train use umbrellas to deflect rain.
What?
Wow.
I guess they were trained to do that. Haha.
I could use that like kind of now. I got hailstones bouncing off the window.
Okay, well, we won't be seeing Dan in a couple of minutes because the power will go out.
Yeah, I
Dan,
know.
it was nice chatting with you.
Yeah.
tonight, buddy.
Dan's
I
gonna
live
go
on
through
a
that
main
portal.
drag between two major towns, and it rarely goes out.
Okay. Oh.
Are your power lines?
It was sunny and dry today. It was supposed to storm, but it didn't happen. So.
Are your power lines above ground or underground?
In the community here, they're underground. On the main drag, they're on really high poles.
Uh-huh.
Let's see what else we have. Retiree mounts 11 phones to bicycle to play Pokemon Go. I guess that's what he likes to do, being retired.
I don't even know what Pokemon Go is.
Yeah,
Other
it was
than a bunch of people went
Yeah.
nuts over it, and some people got hurt. Or
Yes.
maimed or
Yeah, it was a hot game like a year or two ago. I thought it was stupid.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
yeah.
It's a GPS-orientated game.
Something like that, yeah. It was the hottest thing crazy at the time. Yeah, but
Weren't you running around looking for something on an app?
Yeah, you got a Pokemon picture on your phone that was GPS coordinated from the GPS satellites and the cell phone towers. And you went and stepped on them or something and collected a shamrock or whatever. I don't know.
It wouldn't work for a guy like me. I can't find my butt with both hands. In a
People were walking around just looking at their phone
and not paying attention, right? Yeah. Police find 260 pounds of pot hidden in truckload of lettuce.
Oh my!
Wow.
So
why couldn't I have gotten that salad at dinner?
Yeah, really, I know. I guess we can say let us party.
Oh.
Okay, let's see what else we have here. God, really? Hey, man, that lettuce was good. Ooh.
Folks, he's got 2 shows tonight.
Yeah, I know.
At 10 and midnight, free bowl of soup with the midnight show.
Let's see here. A herd of cows chases down fleeing suspect in Florida. What a horrible thing to call the police. No, that's just what it says. Her herd of cows. I don't know how the cows got working for the police department, but that's what it says. Herd of cows chases down fleeing suspect. So how did the cows know?
Switch to Linux is in the house. Hello, Tom.
Hello, Tommy.
Hey.
What's up, man?
I'm guessing those cows just had to move.
Yeah, that's one for Ricky. Okay. Let's see here. Beaches closed after Volkswagen-sized shark sighting.
What?
That's what it says. Look it up. Beaches closed after, I guess, a huge shark was sighted. A Volkswagen size. Yeah, but some Volkswagens are small, so I'm not sure that's actually scary. Anywhere. A bear barges in women's bedroom, knocks over a dresser.
Oh.
Okay, I won't do a joke there. No.
Boy, there's a couple that came there.
I'm not gonna. It's a family show, so we'll just. Yeah, we'll move along. One of these days I'll do like an adult-themed show Saturday and have it demonetized within 20 seconds. I'll probably get banned. What happened to Toss? He got banned. Nah, I won't do that.
No.
You often wonder if they randomly do it or if they're actually picking on your content.
I mean, I can't believe that. I think last weekend Stephanie thing got demonetized. I think I'll have to look. Either that or the one I did right after that. The after concert thing got them. I'm like, well, whatever. But it is random, and I didn't. I think I mentioned Linux once. It's not Linux that's being demonetized. It's just a random thing. But
I think it's a group of monkeys sitting in a room, and they don't give them bananas for a couple of hours.
I know.
There's nothing but buttons on the wall.
I know. Yeah, I know.
And the
really
monkeys go crazy and start hitting stuff. That's
And
how I
nine-
think they come up with this.
And 9 times out of 10, all those buttons are demonetized buttons, and they're just pushing every single one of them.
I know. It's
I will say one thing about this. Google and YouTube are great companies, but if there's one thing that they're not good at is they cannot tell the difference from good content and content that is bad.
They're trying. They are trying. And I'm not defending them because they got caught in this thing a couple years ago with the adpocalypse, but it affected a lot of tubers, even channels with a million subscribers, and were practically begging for viewers to go to Patreon or PayPal, and that kind of shocked me. But what are you going to do? If you don't like it, leave.
Switch says his new show was from yesterday was demonetized.
Well, those cooking shows are bad. No, I'm just kidding. But
when you display flames all over the screen, you can expect that.
I know.
Yeah, and by the way, Tom, thank you very much. I put on one of your recent videos. I forgot which one. When I was going to sleep last night, you got all wound up, and you woke me up, pal. Again.
By the way, that thing we're making, the homemade seltzer soda water, whatever it was, with that Star Trek fuel tank was pretty cool. It's pretty cool, Tom. I was not expecting that, but okay. I mean,
when it comes to Switch, that's the power of Tom on Fire for you.
yes, yeah. Except last night it wasn't on fire. Tom was on gas.
I swear I swear it. He's gonna have that thing sitting on his desk,
I know.
and it's gonna tip over, and, it's gonna pop, and the valve is gonna pop off of it, and the tank's gonna go through the wall and hit the mad guy next door right on
The Russian. What is your problem? I will kill American Linux. No, but what's going to happen is that thing's going to fall. The gas will eject, and we'll see Tom's cat flying across the screen. Meow! Where?
When I first seen the tank, I thought it was a nitrous tank at first glance.
I know, for his
like
car, yeah.
Tom's doing his own dental work or something.
Okay, flying kitties, yeah. That would be so. That'll definitely be demonetized. You'll probably get calls from the ASPC. Hey. All right, let's see what else we have here. Student takes graduation photos with 14-foot alligator.
Oh my god!
Look it up.
How is this person smart enough to get to graduation?
Let me click. It's a girl.
It's a her.
It's a her. Let me go here. Oh my god. She's petting it like, hi, kitty, kitty. Oh my god. Let me play the video real quick. This was from Texas, but boy, those Texans are tough, let me tell you.
A 14-foot alligator.
Yeah, it says here, a student preparing to graduate from a Texas university incorporated a 14 name. Oh, the gator's name was Big Tex. Hey. Oh my god, she's like kind of petting it with her fingers. Oh my god. Oh my god. It looks like the real. This doesn't look like it's photoshopped either. Oh my god. Okay. I guess everything turned out okay, but Jesus.
When I took a trip to Florida, I was in my hotel room watching the news. They showed this gator clamped onto a bumper on the back of a car going down the highway. It was the silliest thing you ever did see. This car's like doing 50 miles an hour. The gator flopping in the wind, locked onto this guy's bumper.
You know, that's the thing I don't get. These, you know, I get these nature programs that they have on TV. You know, where they'll take some guy in a wetsuit, throw him in a cage, and put him in the water.
Yeah.
And the sharks swim by, or you get the guy David Attenborough and guys like that who go out and take pictures of stuff or observe animals, and then you got these guys that go out and do nothing other than screw with animals. Mm-hmm. They try to get too close to them. They try to do this. They try to do that.
Yeah,
it's like this thing knows two things. It knows how to make little animals of whatever it is. And it knows how to eat things like you. Leave it alone.
That's for sure.
I don't get that.
It's almost like the animals are saying, "Oh, you talking to me? You messing with me, you little freaking human. I'm going to eat your, but."
Boss, I got it. If you want to get viewers, if you wanted this, take your viewership from here to the moon.
Pet a gator with a Toskini.
Get a freaking alligator. Wear a Toskini.
I'm way ahead of you, pal. Way ahead of you. I should make Tim my marketing agent.
Then you will have to have that poop tracking app.
I know. Really. Okay, let's move on here. Let's see. I should have Stephanie for this one because she's going back to Germany. But it says here, elderly German men escape nursing home to attend heavy metal concert. Good for them. Awesome.
Better be
Germans
careful.
know. Yeah.
If they're out there headbanging, they better make sure they've got the teeth screwed in good.
I know. Hey man, where's my teeth? Okay, sorry. A cat and a chicken found hiding from fire together. Oh, that's nice.
No,
see,
the cat was thinking, if the fire gets to your side of the room first, I know what's for dinner.
Yeah.
Did I,
That's a one for Tib.
did I just say that out loud? I
Yep.
did.
Oopsie.
I thought I was.
More than 100 escaped goats overrun Ohio neighborhood. What a horrible thing to call your wives. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. How do they escape?
See, here's another thing, right? The cows who caught the criminal earlier, and goats. They aren't the speediest animals in the world.
No.
And how tough
No.
is it to this? Take the gate, close it, and then put the rope around the fence pole in the gate, or hit the little latch on the gate. I swear to God, I wonder if the owners of these cows and goats have kids. Oh, they do. That's right. They just graduated from school and they're petting an alligator.
Oh, man. Bear opens car door, steals bag of food. See, you see, it would have been funny if it said dog eats car door, then steals bag of food after he eats the door. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Nothing else there. Okay.
Well, a dog's teeth is pretty tough. You'll never know.
There was actually a video of these drive-through, forests, zoos, whatever, and I think a mountain lion was like tearing up the car's bumper, just chewing on it, ripping because it's plastic. Just comes right off. So,
Well,
But,
I bet to the lion. I'm guessing what he was thinking is it felt like it was a thing of meat.
Like the gator did.
yeah.
Thought it was a big mouse with wheels.
Yeah, right. This is kind of cool. A theme park trains crows to pick up its litter. That's pretty slick. There's a picture of a crow picking up a piece of, plastic. Nice.
Cool.
Just don't eat it, crow.
Did you
Okay.
say old crows or crows?
Shh, enough. I've been demonetized once tonight, probably. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. No, that's not good. Cocaine discovered in 15 bread rolls at airport.
Oh.
That's why they wouldn't let me board.
Hey, man, I got some good rolls at the Mexicano airport, man. Okay, talk about high-flying passengers.
Yeah, really.
Oh, kidding.
Let's see. Anything else on this one? Then we'll wrap it up. Thieves steal shark from open pool.
Now that is just not right.
How do you do that? Yeah, really.
Yeah, really.
Why the hell would you want to steal a shark?
How would you get them away?
I mean,
You'd need a crane or something to pull them out of the water.
I mean, a shark literally weighs.
They're using a baby stroller, it looks like. Shark disguised as baby, stolen from aquarium, and a baby. It looks like a big. Oh God!
Oh my Lord!
I cannot make this stuff up, man. Oh God!
I think in Florida, this was a while ago. My dad has a place in Sarasota, and there's an aquarium not too far from him, and they've got these big, huge sea turtles. I mean, huge. The diameter on one of the shells is like 3 feet. They're just huge. Well, they've got the biting power to, bite almost anything completely off. These knuckleheads broke in and they stole one of the smaller ones who the shell was only like, I don't know, a foot and a half in diameter, but it was a mature animal. They stole the thing, they threw it in the car, and it fell off the back seat onto the floor. And one of the thieves went to reach around to grab the turtle to pick him up to put him back on the seat, and the turtle latched onto his arm and bit his hand off, or most of his fingers or something.
Yeah.
Again, why screw with animals? Leave them alone.
You want to mess with nature?
Nature's gonna mess back.
They're gonna take a bite out of you.
Yep.
All right, 5-minute warning for the chat comments, and I'm gonna go to bed early. I have to cut grass early in the morning before the sun goes up and get sunburned. So, on my cordless lawnmower.
That's an advantage. You can get up and cut the grass before it gets too late, and you can do it early enough, and it's quiet enough so you don't peeve off the neighbors.
Well, it's not a gas mower. It's kind of quieter anyway.
Yep.
It's a Black & Decker. Another plug for Black & Decker for a sponsorship. I just charge it up overnight like a cell phone. In the morning, I pull the safety lever, hit the button, and it goes. There's no maintenance. I haven't seen a gas station in years for a lawnmower. It just works. I kind of joke because my neighbors have gas mowers. I'm like, shut off that Chevy, man. I got my Lexus mower here. Come on. But no, I do it myself. It saves me $50 a week, and that's my Comcast payment, per month. So or so. But no, I don't mind the exercise. So
All I gotta say is one thing. If you mess with Mother Nature gets her revenge very quickly.
Yes, it does. We're supposed to live in harmony. Or try to anyway.
Mother Nature's having her way outside right now.
The way I ate today, I should probably come over and mow your grass, Toss.
Yeah, really.
Get some
You're more than
exercise.
welcome to.
I might not be smart enough to run the electric mower.
I know. A switch. Me, you have switch. Yeah,
You remember to unplug it too.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a great. I've had it now 6 years. Yeah, I've changed the battery once. It's just 3 sets of like one set of 3 batteries, like a small car battery. 12 volts, 12 volts. It works. No maintenance. Either it works or either the switch works or it doesn't work. So there's no tune up or spark plug of that. Just button. So it's great. Anyway. All right. Well, on that note of grass cutting, not smoking, we're gonna wrap it up for this evening. Thank you everybody in the chat as usual. You missed any of this? People come by this late, whatever. You can replay this. You'll have to fast because I came on like 10 minutes earlier. There were people waiting. So fast forward at 10 minutes if you want to get straight to the topic around 10 p.m. as of the recording to talk about AI and a threat to humanity. So I think you'll find it interesting, again, based off the History Channel episode I just saw today, In Search Of, the new TV series In Search Of. Check it out. Check out the links below in the show notes if you want to support the channel. Thank you. There was an update today on my Patreon page. We have 8 supporters on Patreon. Thank you. As of today, your names are at the bottom as a thank you, just your first names. And we'll catch you on the next one. Nothing tomorrow. I don't think I'll do anything tomorrow in terms of videos tomorrow. I think I'll just chill tomorrow. So look for stuff during the week.
No
then we'll
Sunday
go from
morning
there.
news.
I don't think tomorrow. I'm going to get up, like I said, and cut the grass. So
That's what you said last week.
yeah. Well, what I did, I woke up late. That's why. But I went to bed like 2 in the morning. But tonight I'm ending it sooner. This stream sooner. So
Yeah, it happened to me last night. We stayed out too late, and I was hooked by the end of the night.
By the time we got off, was it 2 o'clock in the morning? 1:30, 2 o'clock? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 1:30.
Yeah, and by the time I get to bed, I fall asleep between 2 and 3. But tonight I'm going to end it now at 11:30. So, but that was fun. Yeah, there aren't too many streams where I want to stay around longer, except for last Friday's streams with Stephanie. That could have went on all night easily, because everybody seemed like they're having a good time when they said, "Toss, no Linux tonight, just have her sing." So anyway, Stephanie, thank you if you ever watched this. Probably not, but she's going back to Germany here in a few days. So we'll try to get together next time and have another free concert. So again, check out her music.
Yep.
She gave us a real memorable treat.
It was. I think it went better than she may have thought. She says this was a great confidence booster. Look, I know you guys were gonna like her personality. She's just down to earth, sweet, and nice. I wasn't sure if you guys would like her type of music, pop, folk, and everybody did. And I don't think anybody was trying to be polite or nice. I think everybody genuinely liked her voice. And I think because it was the real deal. It was just her and her. Is this steel string or nylon? I forgot what she said. I think a steel string guitar, right?
Right.
Just her and the guitar, no computer, no auto tunes, no background vocals, just her. So either you have the voice or you don't. Obviously, she has the voice, and I think that made an impression on people. So hopefully we'll do it again sometime. I think she may come home for the holidays. I think she said maybe. Maybe. If not, I guess it'll have to be next year. So we'll go from there.
Cool.
All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you here, and Daniel and Ricky and Tim, as always. Thank you.
All right. Good night. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night, and I'll catch you guys later.
Good night, everybody.
I'll catch up on you with you personally Monday morning. Monday afternoon. Monday
Right.
afternoon.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, we'll move on from there. Okay. Thank you. All right. Ciao. Bye.
Bye-bye.